All right, second in the chuck here. So the sides is perfect as far as the fit in the chuck here in the keyholes. I need to trim these corners a little bit, which I figured out I'd have to do. So we're just gonna do a little nip on the corners to get them to size here. Oh yeah, well, yeah, of course, perfect fit in there, so it looked good there. There we go. See, that's perfect. And perfect. Perfect, both ways. Both ways. Both ways. Okay, I'm going to do a little detail on that edge. Right there. I'm going to do you can see that. Do a little detail on the edge, deburr, few little burrs on there, and then I'm going to turn down this portion here for the press fit. Then we'll whack off the extra, and then we'll be pretty much ready to. Well, then I'm going to determine whether I'm going to put a hole in them or not. I'm tempted to, just in case I need a pin, because after I harden it, I'm not going to be drilling it probably. You're saying, what in the hell am I doing with the dial on 3-jaw chuck, right? Well, let me tell you. It's gonna be close, but if I want it to be, I only have to take off a few thousandths. So, I would like to make it in there so I don't have to screw the, not getting cut all the way around. And I got it down so I'm within 1.5 or so. Yeah. Instead of, 5 when I started there. So. Well, let's see. We'll get the thing turned down, then we'll detail that end a little bit. See if I got enough there to measure. I'm gonna have to go a little more. Well, I'm within 1.5 thousandths where I want to be. Back up here and do this in one cut. Oh, great finish. Beautiful finish. $740.5. I'm a little under where I wanted, but it'll work. 742. So that'll work. About thousandths, a little more than a thousandth over. So it'll work. I'm just going to put a little detail on here. A little 30-degree angle, that's all. Little cleanup right there. think that's a wrap on those. I mean, I'll cut it off here. I want to decide what we're going to do. How's that look? It's good enough to work, I think. Be really nice. It'd be just a primo fit there. So I cut these off, and I just stuck them in the mill real quick and cleaned the ends of them up. So what I'm going to do, I decided, so I'm going to put 3/16 holes in these, in the same location on each one. They're a little bit different lengths, but the length from the shoulder here to the end is the same on both. But anyway, what I'm going to do, so I put a center punch mark in line with one of the facets, right, with one of the ridges of the facets. So straight up from that, and from this end here, 1.4 inches up, and in line with the facet. So I'm going to put a 3/16 hole in for a 3/16 spring pin or roll pin. That way I know exactly where it is, because I'm only going to push it in until this ends here, but I can always measure from the, it's only going to get pushed in to that little bit difference in diameter. So there's going to be about 1/4 inch here, and then this will be out. And I'll always be able to measure from the end, 1.4 inches. I'm only going to drill this. I'm not going to drill the shaft. But I'll know where the hole is if I need to put a pin in. I'm hoping the press fits tight enough to lock them in there. I might even put some Loctite on it, but it should be. I hope it's tight enough. If it isn't, I'll put a pin in. So right now I'm just going to drill the holes. All right, I'm going to drill these holes in here. So I'm going to show you what I got going here. So I've got my big mill stop in here. So somebody was asking me, oh, how rigid is that? That is solid. You could just hear that, how solid that is. It's a rock. They're rock solid. It really works good. It's kind of big. I'd really like to make maybe a smaller one of it, a smaller version of this actually. But this big one, even though I can move this over a little more, even make it a little shorter, but you know, it works for just about every time I use it. It works. So I don't know. Maybe I won't bother, but it is rock solid. You know, you see them. There's outfits that make them. When I saw Tom Lipton's, and that's how I thought about doing this, or it's extending, so you can make it really long and stuff. And even then, it's solid. It won't move. It may vibrate a little bit, but it won't. It's pretty darn accurate. So here's what I'm going to do on the setup of this. Since I want them both the same from the end, 1.4 inches. So I have a little scribe line. I even put a center punch mark, and I have a scribe line along the edge. I set up my stop so that when I put it in, I'll clamp on the reduced diameter, so it's nice solid clamp up. Otherwise, I'd only clamp on this little small space. I put 2 parallels in here so they'll act like a V-block. I'll push it up against there. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of set the vise a little bit, bring this point down. Now what I did is I know where this edge is on the DRO. I know the diameter, so I came over half, 369 thousandths. So I came over halfway, and now I'll bring that point down. Bring this in closer here. Try to keep my arms out of the way. And I'm just going to rotate it until that scribe line is under the point. Right there. And I can just kind of hold it there. Snug the vise. Now I know that my scribe line is perpendicular to my piece, right? I'm gonna snug it up, and I'm right on the mark. And if I line up on my center punch mark, or on my scribe mark, really, my center punch mark is just a little tiny off. But looks pretty good. There we go. We'll leave her there. Lock the table. Drill a hole. I think what I'll do is I'll get a spot drill. I don't know, I like to use a center drill or a spot drill every time, whenever I'm drilling on something round like this. Oh yeah, that looks good. There we go. Okay, got the other piece in here. And we're just going to do the same thing. As far as getting it lined up. It's the same diameter. There we go. So here's the ends for the wrenches. It's W1 drill rod. So what we're going to do is we're going to heat them up. These are right there, about 3/4 of an inch thick. So I'm going to probably try to keep them hot here for about 30 minutes. Get it heated thoroughly through. Somewhere between 1425 to 1500 degrees. Got to keep them above your critical temperature, and I want them to get them heated through. So I heat them all the way. Then I'm going to just dump them in the water. That's what right here, a can of water. They're going to cool off. And then I'm going to heat them back up again. And I'm going to shoot for, I don't want them to be super, super hard, but I want them hard so they all last a while. We're going to shoot for a tempering temperature of around 500 degrees. So I'm using my old heat gun here. It's an old one, but it works good. So they're right around 59, 60, right at 60 degrees right now. And this is how I'm going to tell how hot they are. So it shouldn't take too long to do this. Okay, I got a rosebud on here. This is just a Victor J100 torch. I also have a bigger Victor. This way I can kind of heat them both up at the same time.
And this is, you know, this is for me, this stuff here. So this is not something I'm selling. This is not, this is for heat treating here in the shop, you know, type of thing. This is, if I was selling something, I would heat treat it with an oven and document everything and have a tester and all that stuff to, you know, test their hardness and everything. But this is for me, so you know, I don't want them to be brittle, you know, so that's why I'll temper them. But I do want them hard so they last a while. But I don't want them so hard they wear the chuck either, you know, type of thing. But for what you're doing, you're not going to wear things out. Put a little closer together here. Little diving board platform, yeah. Whoa, there we go. Probably a dirty torch here. Starting to get a little glow on them. Little cherry red going there. So they're just starting to turn a little cherry red, so we'll see what they are. 1050 average, roughly. We're about 1150. You know, but if you're, you know, wanting to make your own chisels, you know, cold chisels, center punches, this is a great way to do it. You can do it right in your own shop. I did that slide hammer in the other day. Came out really nice, you know, nice and hard. I know I didn't video it, so I thought I wanted to make these, so I was gonna harden them, so I might as well show it, right? We're about 1200. Up 12, almost 1300. 1500. So we're just gonna keep them here. Back off the torch a little. So you can see that beyond red, it's turning, you know, it's an orangey color instead of a red color. We're just gonna keep them try to keep them right 14 to 1500 degrees. Okay, we're ready for the bath. There we go. Heat that whole can up, boiling down in there. So when I get these out, I'll go run them probably on the wire wheel real quick, clean them up, get scale off. We'll do a little file test on them, and then we'll temper them. Why? Thought it was gonna be hot. No, it's still cold. That water started out at 50 degrees. That's what they're gonna look like when you take them out. A little bit of scale on them. Not too bad. There. Get them up close. Look pretty good. All right, I'm gonna go clean them up a little bit. We're having another beautiful day out here, but the rain's coming. They say we're gonna have 4 days of rain here over the weekend. So inches, they say, inches. Okay, here's how all I did is wire wheel them, clean them up, get the coarse scale off. They're still nice and black though. So I should have done this before, but we'll do this afterwards. I will get two other samples of the same material, W1 drill rod, and I'm going to clink them together
unhardened raw material. But listen to them now. I'm doing it by the microphone. And when I clink, never mind, I'll just go get some. Okay, I'm back. So here's some raw material, W1. I'm going to clink it together right by the microphone. Now I'm going to clink these hardened ones. You hear that little buzzy sound that these ones don't make? Because they're so hard when you click them together, they bounce a bunch and they make that little buzz sound. Kind of hard to tell, but anyway, that's a kind of a way you can tell when something's really hard. Here's a file test. Okay, I'm just going to hit that edge right there, and I'll do it right by the microphone. Just skips off. It's not even cutting it at all. It may make it shiny, but there's no cutting action going on. Here's the other one. Yeah, very hard. I'd almost bet they're 60 plus. Okay, that's what they should be, somewhere there, 60 or better. Rockwell C 60 or better. We got our little dimple marks and our holes in there. Now we're going to heat them up to around 500. It doesn't take much. It's not hard to do here. Now, if I only heated them up to about 350, I could get, 60 or 62 Hardwell Rockness, C Rockwell. But 500, it's going to give me down there in the high 50s, 58s. But it makes it a little tougher and stuff. So I don't think I can shear one off anyway. But that's what I'm going to shoot for. I don't want, it doesn't have to be up in the high 60s. So we're going to heat it up a little bit higher temperature. The file will probably still skip off. I'm going to do one at a time because it's pretty easy to do. Get it up in temperature. $300. About 400. You want it to heat through, so you just do it slowly. Of course. Right at 500. You can hold it there for a little bit. Roscoe barking. Comes out nice. Alright, we're going to do the tap test. Hear that buzz? Oh yeah. File test. Actually, there, I can feel it grabbing a little bit. Yeah, actually is. See, so it's a little bit softer. Very, very good. Came out good. We'll clean them up a little bit and get them pressed into the body of the handles. Then we got a little bit to do on the T part.